This episode is brought to you by the Marine Corps Association and Modern Day Marine. Exciting news, Scuttlebutt fans! Modern Day Marine, co-hosted by the Marine Corps Association and the Marine Corps League, is set to take place at the Walter E. Washington Convention Center from April 30th to May 2nd. Dive into the latest innovations, hear from senior leaders across the Department of Defense, and connect with fellow Marines and defense industry partners. Registration is now open. Visit MarineMilitaryExpos.com for more details. That's MarineMilitaryExpos.com. Don't miss this opportunity to engage in the emerging Marine Corps advancements. Hey, Scuttlebutt listeners, thank you again for joining us. I am Vic. I'm here with Nancy.
Hi, everyone.
And we are being joined by the Marine Corps Association's own Director of Engagement and Expositions, Marta Sullivan. Hey.
Hey, thanks for having me today.
Yeah, thanks for swinging by.
Welcome.
Thanks. I love being here. It's
Yeah.
it's good to see you guys. I'm giggling because we just had a warm-up session a little while ago, and it's
Right.
always fun to hang out with the two of you. So thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, based on our pre-show sort of warm-up, I think the next thing we need to do is our Oscars episode or something like that.
where
can
we
all talk,
right. I think that's a good
talk
idea.
local like the most recent movies and stuff, because we've got a lot of good insight.
I feel like we do. And we can actually even maybe apply it to contemporary military issues.
Absolutely. Oh, don't they all?
They
Really?
really, at the end of the day, they all link back.
All roads lead to the Marine
Yeah, I mean,
Corps.
All roads lead
even
to the Marine
Barbie
Corps.
had an amphibious assault, so I mean, we can talk these pieces.
Yes, and maybe how beach could be an MOS.
Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us. I think the last time you were in, we were on the same floor, so I appreciate you coming up the stairs now. Yeah.
Easy day.
Yeah.
I just had a knee replacement, about a year ago, so now the stairs are no problem. I'll come up
Oh, very
anytime.
good.
Anytime.
Okay,
Anytime.
yeah.
Thanks. Yeah.
Working out the new hardware.
Yeah. Exactly.
So we've got you in. We wrangled you in here because we have a very exciting annual event coming up in Washington D.C. at the Walter E. Washington Convention Center.
You got it.
And this event is colloquially known as Modern Day Marine.
So excited. We're
Yeah.
back again in DC. This is going to be our third year in Washington, DC. Many of your listeners, Vic and Nancy, probably remember Modern Day Marine when it was held on Quantico, and
Yes.
then Marine South and Marine
I was
West.
at CD&I when it was doing that, and it
yeah.
was just like tents, and everyone would and they just had the vehicles out in the parking lot, and
Yeah,
yeah,
it was great. It was very
it was fun.
expeditionary.
But you cannot
Extremely.
compare that to what modern day Marine is now, which is next level.
Well, and that's due all in part to the Commandant, General Berger. I think it was, I'm going to get my years mixed up, but he called for an OPT to discuss the purpose of modern day Marine and where it currently stood and where it was headed and how we could do a better job communicating strategically to our different stakeholders. So he convened an OPT. The communications directorate was the OPT lead or the OPR, and gave him a bunch of different courses of action, and he chose to move it to DC for lots of different reasons. But I think it was a great move. All of our sister services hold their annual expos in Washington, DC.
Yeah, I wanted to mention this. I'm so glad you did, because I don't want to get into this idea that we're always looking over the fence and what are the Joneses doing, but I mean, there was that sense. I mean, AUSA was there.
Sea Airspace, Airspace Cyber, or Air Cyberspace.
Full on conventions, the full nine, and so now we're in the club now. I mean, what we've got, I think, rivals and exceeds in many ways because of it's not just vendors peddling their wares. I mean, we've got spousal summits. We've got the Wargaming Center, obviously mainstay. Please go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, well, so back to your first point, Vic, I think what's really important we're not looking over the fence, but we're also not exactly like the others. We're really trying hard to keep what's special about the Marine Corps as the foundation for modern day Marines. So we want to bring professional military education for Marines into the symposium, so into the expo.
Right.
So that's what we're really working hard on improving. So I want to make sure we talk about that. But you're absolutely right. it's not just a trade industry show, although that is an impressive part of Modern
Really
Day Marine.
It
impressive, yeah.
is.
And our defense industry partners are amazing, and they are General Berger and General Smith both said this last year at Modern Day Marine, but it's our defense industry partners that we're walking hand in hand, finding solutions for these complex problems that are facing the service, especially with force design. Um, so that's impressive. That's an impressive part of Modern Day Marine. But in addition to that, we've added these ancillary events that really make it special and really make it feel like the Marine Corps. And you mentioned some of them, but a couple I want to highlight right off the bat. Objective One Wargaming Convention.
Yeah, so cool.
So cool. And this is unique to Modern Day Marine. No other service expo does a wargaming convention inside their expo. And it's led by retired Colonel Tim Barrick. He's
Friend of the podcast.
Yeah, friend
friend
of the show, across the street, or I guess now we just walked to the new parking lot.
Yeah, now we
Yep.
can just holler at him out the window.
Yeah.
But he's fantastic, and he's really taken this from initial concept to an extraordinary place. We're hosting the Commandant's Cup, and there's actually a tournament happening now, and the championship rounds, if you will
Mhm.
happen Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at Modern Day Marine. And
I love a tournament.
I know.
Really
That's
do.
great.
I can't get enough of tournament style.
You're just really competitive that way.
No, I love the many shall stand. One shall.
one shall remain standing. And there's an
tear it
actual
home and-
cup we're gonna award. So I don't know. It's like the Stanley Cup, but there's
Gonna
gonna
put
be
grog in that cup, and then they're gonna just chug it right there on the podium.
rum,
Yeah,
right? Rum. I mean,
yeah.
that doesn't get more.
Well, I
Marine
think
than that.
last year's prize was and I mean it's not like bath water. I mean it was like a really expensive bottle of whiskey.
It was a bottle of something.
It
I have
was-
a picture of it
Yeah,
somewhere on my phone.
Gunny McGordy Hunter won
Yes,
it.
he
Yeah,
did.
and still hasn't given me a sip of that damn thing. So anyhow,
This year, I'm not sure what's going to be in the cup, but it'll be a nice cup, the Commandant's Cup. And not only that, but I think Microsoft is going to be there with
that's
some
awesome.
great technology, Classroom of the Future, and demonstrations. And then also participants can just walk right up and play games.
I was gonna say because it's not just the computer-based stuff. They have tabletops things where you can just jump in.
Yeah.
And I mean they're there from start to finish, so you can come in whenever and get your game on. Yeah.
Exactly. It's a lot of fun, and we're really grateful to Colonel Barrick for doing that. But second year of Objective One Wargaming Convention at Modern Day Marine will be exciting.
That's
It is
awesome.
super-
Yeah. Another thing we have, which we're really proud of, is the Modern Day Marine Spouse Summit. Last
Yes.
year, it started off as an employment, military spouse employment brunch, and really focused on military spouse employment. And this year, we had so much interest that we thought we had enough interest to go wider in scope and wider in audience. So we'll spend the whole day talking about issues that are important to Marine spouses or military spouses and their families. We'll start off with a quality of life panel in the main briefing center stage, and then we have breakout sessions talking about housing, dependent care and education, medical care, and spouse employment. And then we'll finish with the luncheon and a keynote panel that'll be really fantastic, talking about where the programmings for families are headed in the future for the Marine Corps. We're going to have a very special guest. I don't want to spoil.
nice.
I know, a little
I
teaser.
love
Yeah,
it.
you're not finding out. You can't make me say it, but we have a very special guest coming for the luncheon. So that should
Sign
be really
me up.
good.
Sign me up for the luncheon.
And it's going to be great food.
Yeah, I think too and I mean being that we've have two military spouses in the studio right now. I mean, I think it's such a special thing, especially coming from you as a Marine and as the spouse of a Marine. I mean, these are really important, and I think we were talking recently. We've upcoming with our catching up with old friends.
Yes.
We were talking a little bit about. I mean, there is no one. There's no Marine that has a family that their family isn't impacted by their service, or just any service member. But obviously, we're talking Marines. But
Sure, 100. I mean, 100%.
yeah,
You can't, and that's why I'm really proud. And hopefully one day soon, we can get back together and talk about Behind the Camouflage.
yes,
So looking forward to that.
An initiative by MCA, because you can't support just the warfighter without supporting the family. And whether, and we talk about spouses, but truly nowadays that's parents, that's supportive family, whoever is taking care of that military service member, right? Someone is taking care of them. I mean, we're
Yeah.
focusing on modern day Marine, we're focusing on spouses and the nuclear family, but absolutely there's a supporting cast that comes
Yeah.
with the warfighter, and we don't want to ignore that
Yeah, and
cast.
that old school sort of idea that like, well, if the Marine Corps wanted you to have a family that issued you one, I mean, those days are gone.
Well,
Because it just and I hate to like be overly reductionary here, but like it really does affect readiness because if a Marine is always is is doing their PCCs and PCIs about to step outside the wire, all they can think about is, well, what's happening back home? Obviously, the readiness level drops, or if you're having to send folks back, or all of these things.
All of these
But
things,
there's much, much more.
It's
Right.
financial
There's
readiness,
yeah.
the
much,
health
much
and
more.
security of your
Right.
family back home. Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
refreshing to see that this is now an issue. People are. I come from a different generation of military spouses, and even grew up in an older generation of a military family where none of that was a factor. None of that was talked about. It was just, well, ruck up, do what you got to do.
Hmm.
So it's so inspiring for me to see this new generation and this new approach.
Yeah, me too. I'm grateful and I think ultimately it makes our military stronger because those problems were
100%.
still there.
Yes,
50 years ago, the issues were still there, but now we're talking about them and we're providing more support to the family. So
Which
that's exciting.
can only help retention.
100%.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I'm excited about the Military Spouse Summit. The other thing we're doing this year is we are increasing our allies and partners presence at Modern Day Marine. We have 2 international panels on the main briefing center stage, which is really exciting. One, we're going to talk about security in the Indo-Pacific with our Indo-Pacific partners.
Kind of an important topic.
It's one that
Do you
Yes,
think
yeah,
so?
Yeah, I've heard it mentioned.
Okay.
just
Yeah.
a couple. It's made a couple headlines lately. And then the littorals of the high north is another panel.
Yes, yes. Such a fascinating thing. I forget who I was talking to about that recently, but like, yeah, as the caps are starting to melt, there's trade lines that are starting to open up, and
It's
that's going to be a huge
Oh,
deal.
interesting.
Yeah.
so we're really excited to hear about what those officers and folks have to say about that. And then we're going to have a International Allies and Partners luncheon, which is open. I want to say this: it's open to all active duty military, um, domestic and allies and partners. So please, if you're attending Modern Day Marine and you want to have lunch with our allies and partners, join us. We would love to have you.
Yeah,
So
that'd be so cool.
it'll be exciting.
Yeah. Again, we just were talking about that cooperative nature, and I think as we're talking, regardless of whether you are on the side, pro or against force design and some of these other initiatives, stand-in forces and EABO and all of these things, the end of the day, we are a very important piece, but a piece nonetheless of the overall joint force. And another major part of that, in order for this to be successful, is our international partners and allies having buy-in on this thing, because we can't just go it alone. I mean, we did that we didn't, but we did for 20 years, and it took a massive amount of our war chest to pull it off.
Yeah,
think we
you're
wanna do
exactly
that
right.
again, yeah.
So that's going to be really exciting. I'm thrilled that we're able to make that happen this year. And then I do want to mention we've added an activation area on the floor. So just lots of growth this year. Really a lot of growth. That we've added the Semper Fi Pavilion, and that is really intended to highlight. Training and education initiatives, manpower initiatives, programs that affect the warfighter. So that's where the Marine can go and put hands on, the latest marksmanship tools or the latest manpower and retention models. They're going to get to kind of play around there. They're going to hear from, Force Fitness. They're going to hear from Marine for Life. They're going to hear from the different options for their career paths. So that's exciting. We
That's
have
very cool.
Project Tripoli is going to be there on display, which is awesome. We're really grateful to Training and Education Command for bringing that. Weapons Training Battalion is going to bring some of their marksmanship.
Nice.
Oh, that'll be cool.
Yeah, it's going to be really neat. And then the small UAS school is coming and bringing
Ooh,
four
nice.
of their small UAS, and they're going to be demonstrating those. We have a drone zone this year, so
Oh my gosh. If my oldest hears that, like, he's gonna spend 3 days. He's just gonna bring a sleeping bag and a tent and stay
Camp out there. Does he listen to the
Drones.
podcast?
No.
So he doesn't need to know then. He'll never find out.
Yeah, no, yeah. But that is super cool. So drone zone, huh?
yes, and it'll be nice for the Marines. Because one, we love to have Marines there. We love to have Marines hear from senior leaders, hear from our allies and partners, hear from defense industry, big business and small business, right? We have the really large companies, and then we have the mom and pops that want to hear from Marines about how their new boots are doing, or how their new rucksacks working out, or
Yeah.
can they try this and give them some feedback. So, but we also want to offer them top-notch educational experience. So I'm excited we're adding the Simplify Pavilion in addition to the Marine Zone, and the Marine Zone stage, where we're going to have subject matter experts talking on a whole variety of topics. New for this year are TED Tile Talk. I can't do
You
it.
got it. That was
TED. It was so close. TED Talk style.
Yes.
Well done.
We got there.
TED Talk style talks from Marine Corps University students.
Oh, very cool.
So they'll new
Neat.
this year.
What a good idea.
Is that all of the MCU student,
They were
or are they all
all.
coming from like just EW?
They're coming from all over the
Okay, awesome.
university. So that's going to be really great. We're going to hear about their papers and their a lot of their master's thesis discussions.
Love that.
That is so cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So really a focus on professional military education for Marines. Like, we just want to make it so worth their while to come, worth their while, worth the time of our senior leaders, and worth the time of our defense industry partners that are
Yeah.
spending
And
time
I think
with us.
that's sort of an underappreciated aspect of leadership, is that ability to get up in front of people who, I don't want to say need convincing, because Marines, but at the same time, like, if they don't understand what it is that you're trying to communicate, your plan's going to be pretty shitty, right? Like, you're starting off really, really poorly. And so having that practice and getting comfortable in that environment where you're having to brief, anywhere from 4 to 100 people, that's a very worthwhile skill. And I don't know if anybody outside of the actual institutions themselves are fostering that. So that's really cool.
Yeah,
Great
that's
idea.
exciting. Yeah, we're thankful to Marine Corps University for doing that. Yeah, one other thing that I want to mention too is we added the acquisition stage. So lots of different areas on the expo hall floor that you can go to and hear exactly what you want to hear about, right?
Mhm.
So this acquisition stage, whereas the Simplify Pavilion and the Marine Zone stage have different audiences, the acquisition stage really targets defense industry. And so Marine Corps Systems Command, the different PEOs are going to be there talking about the programs and where they're headed, and what the status of where they're headed in with their contracts and
Yeah.
programs. So that's really exciting. If you're a defense industry partner, I think that's going to be great.
You need to be there listening to those briefings then. It sounds like it.
Yeah. So we're excited. That's new. So lots of really new things, and then lots of staples, right? Secretary of the Navy has confirmed and will be there on the last day to talk about Navy and Marine Corps relationships and the status of the Navy, including the Marine Corps, and where we're headed. And then we hope to hear from many, many senior leaders within the Marine Corps. So all really good stuff.
So how are you getting the word out to Marines about modern day Marine?
We're pressing hard. Well, just today we were having a Mongolian barbecue,
Yes.
which I recommend on Tuesdays.
Tuesdays at the club.
At the club.
Be there.
Vegetarian.
No, that's right. That's Mongolian barbecue is great for
I had
vegetarians.
a vegetarian serving.
Did you really?
I did, because you choose what you're going to eat.
Oh, well.
It's all vegetables.
All right.
Yeah,
Pencil
anyhow.
me in on Tuesdays then. At the club.
At the clubs.
Clubs
Clubs
Aquatica.
Aquatica.
Shameless plug for them.
shameless
Shameless plug for
Yeah.
Mongolian barbecue. Join us. Modern Day Marine will be there. But no, we're advertising. We have signs and posters up all over the base, but we're also hitting it hard on social media. We have a couple of radio ads coming out, and all of the senior leaders have, we're asking them to push it down to their Marines. We're making it easy to get there. We have basically round the clock shuttle service from Marine Corps Base Quantico, different various spots up to the Walter E. Washington Convention Center and then back home, so you don't have to drive.
Mhm.
There's going to be a shuttle from the Pentagon to the convention center, and then the convention center is right off the metro too.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it's pretty
easy to get there.
And how can
accessible.
people find out about those travel and transportation options?
so glad you asked, Nancy.
It's like
It's like you-
I'm setting you up for this.
There's on the Modern Day Marine website. There's an entire tab dedicated to
Perfect.
getting there, parking, metro access. The
What
whole
is that
9 yards.
website?
It's like we're pros and have
I
a
know.
Yeah.
podcast, right?
Vic. I don't know. It's Modern Day Marine. I don't know what the website is.
We'll
I
add it to the
just-
show
We'll
notes.
put it in the
All
show
good.
We'll put it
Yeah,
in the show
yeah.
notes.
Yeah.
If you go to,
I think it's Marine Military Expos actually.
Yeah,
You could-
yeah, it is. It is.
Hey,
Marine
just
Military
Google it,
Expos,
listeners.
yeah.
You can
But
Google
if
it.
but
You'll
if
you
find
only
it.
there were a page that you could put anything in that would give you the answer.
Yeah, well, if you go to mca-marines.org, then we have a tab for Modern Day Marine. I'll take you right there.
We'll take you right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. That's how I always get there, which is why.
Yeah.
But thanks.
Why
thanks for
would you
that.
get there any other way?
I always get.
But yeah, I
I
think it is. Marine
Military Expos.
Yeah.
I think that's because it did encompass Marine South and Marine West.
Mhm.
So, yeah, it's a good website. It's got lots of information. Registration is open, and again, totally free for for active duty. Any branch, and we welcome other branches too. I know Marines actually do play pretty well in the sandbox with others.
Mm-hmm.
And so people can
because
register.
we're always honor grads, right? So I mean, of course we're gonna play nice.
But Marines anyone can register at that link,
Yes,
the tab from our website, right?
Mhm.
100%.
But yeah, and one of the things I really appreciated from last year, what I think is just sort of a staple aspect of Modern Day Marine, was the folks that we were able to interact with that weren't necessarily on the main stage or didn't have the large booth setup, which are all obviously amazing, but even just walking sort of the peripheral and coming across some of the folks with their initiatives and their projects and just their interests. So cool. It's such a great venue.
Really, it truly is. And to that point, we have tons of small businesses that
Mm-hmm.
that support Modern Day Marine and are there. And then also, we recently found out sold out of our nonprofit neighborhood, completely sold out. So
Cool.
we
That's
have
great.
it's exciting. And they do, not Marine Corps gets a lot of great support from our nonprofits. So being able to go and understand what programs they have to offer and all of the news going on there, it's exciting. So I'm glad to hear
Yeah.
that. Yeah, everyone should take a look.
So you'll be very busy during those few days of Modern Day Marine, but I'm pretty sure you're going to take a little bit of time to enjoy the show, right? What are you most looking forward to?
Oh, that's a great question.
It is.
Okay.
You're a professional.
Yeah, truly. That's a great question. Nancy, that's a great question. You know what I love most about Modern Day Marine? I see so many friends. I literally, it's like a Marine Corps reunion for
Mhm.
3 days.
It is, yeah.
Because either my friends are there still in service, still in uniform, or they're behind defense industry. They're leaders in the defense industry, or even so, I see some of my friends who come with their, the staff from the Hill, and they're taking out. So I think the reunion aspect for me is my favorite part,
Nice.
and of course, hearing all the senior leaders talk.
Oh, sure. Well, that's a
yeah,
given.
yeah. I mean,
Well,
of course.
that.
and how could we not talk about it? But Vic, William, and William, and I are going to be there in
Yeah, we'll be recording.
representing Scuttlebutt.
Yeah, we'll be recording from the floor. Yeah, just like last year. We had some truly amazing guests. It in there was almost the content was like it was just sort of like drinking from a fire hose. It felt like Sly Stallone in First Blood. You know when he's getting hosed down in the shower.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was
but
thinking.
I mean an enjoyable hose down. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. We're gonna do it again. So yeah, if you're at Modern Day Marine, please come by, say hi to us, and yeah, we're really looking forward to
And stop by the Marine Corps Association booth,
booth. Yeah,
get a leatherneck, get a gazette, say hi.
we're gonna be teasing our video,
Yeah.
our battle study video from MCA Films.
So much going on.
It's
So
a
much
lot,
good stuff.
yeah.
So make sure for sure stop by, say hi to the Scuttlebutt team, and say hi to MCA. Join if you haven't already joined. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to this year, and we also have dates stabilized for 2025 too.
Oh
So
wow!
it'll be the same
great.
time next year, and
Okay.
that'll be it's great because it's the 250th.
Yeah, that's gonna
Be
rad,
exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So what
but,
are those dates?
it's the last week of April, first week of May
Okay.
for next year, for 2025, and for this year too. But
Yeah.
they-
So and last week of April,
April
all the way
29.
into the first few days of May.
that's right.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely. I'd have to take a look at a
I
calendar.
think you're right. I
to-
think it is 29th to like the.
But for
2nd.
this year,
for this
we
year, it's
start
the
April
29th.
29.
Yeah, April 29th through May 2nd.
Mhm.
And I do have to, like, it's a complete team. You know, Modern Day Marine is co-hosted by the Marine Corps Association, the Marine Corps League, and we have great partners in Emerald. They are the show producers. They do the the dirty work of
Mhm.
of actually producing this show, the contracting and the organization. So
They do a
y-
great job.
it's phenomenal. It's really exciting. So we have a great team, and a huge shout out to Emerald and the Marine Corps League. The Marine Corps League is great partners too. So it'll be a great time. Can't wait.
I'm looking forward to
No,
it.
I'm very excited. This is gonna be so cool.
What are you most looking forward to, Vic?
I love looking at the gear. I can't get enough of seeing an ACV. So big shout out to Colonel Tim Howe.
You know, I went to high school with him.
I did not know that.
I sure did. Wolverines forever.
North Stafford.
North Stafford Wolverines forever. Shout out to Colonel Tim
My-
Howe.
Yeah.
My daughter went to North Stafford.
All the best people do.
Yeah. Right.
You know, Woody's wife went to North Stafford.
Get out of town.
Yeah, so if you're a North Stafford Wolverine, this one's for you. What?
Nice. So yeah, I love looking at the gear. But I guess just like talking to some of the the small businesses that are out there and meeting people and just sort of getting their ideas. I can't think of. I always think about like Brad Halsey, who's working that.
Building momentum.
Yeah, it's so
that was
cool.
so amazing.
All the problem solving stuff
Yeah.
that they do, and sort of monster garaging it with just like MRE packets and stuff that you have like in your pack, and being able to like build a drone from that stuff. I mean, it's really great. And I just the sort of the zeal that everyone has gotten on board with, like, how do we do stand-in forces EABO and make it sustainable when we're not doing Iron Mountains anymore, and just the ideas that are coming and flowing in, and everyone's so excited about how to make this thing work. It's infectious. So that's what I like most about it. And the senior leader comments, of course.
Yeah, and of course, they're the best.
Goes without saying, the senior leader comments.
No, but truly, yeah, okay. And I know we're kind of joking about it, right? But where else can you hear? I think I think every deputy commandant will be a part of Modern Day Marine speaking platform in some shape or form, from PNR to a PPNO. I mean, every single deputy commandant is going to be up there. So that's really great to
It's a big deal.
hear from from the source where the Marine Corps is headed. It's
Mhm.
exciting.
No, that is true. Yeah, I mean, we were a little tongue in cheek, but that is absolutely right. Like, there's not really a time where you're going to have a period where you get to hear like sort of the state of the force from these people who are affecting the state of the force. And then, like you were talking about, like catching up with folks, like I can't get enough of some Troy Black. And so, like, honestly, just that be able to sit down with him, even for just, 10 minutes or whatever it was, it just brings me back to when it was, Captain Vic Verbalin for Sergeant Troy Black, and so it brings you back. And so it's such a nice thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
so here's my last question for you. Someone who's never been to modern day Marine before, what are the must do or must see, can't miss things? List 5 if you can.
Well, I think it's a good question, but I'm gonna say it depends. It really depends on who you are and what your interests are. And I think, if you are if you're a defense industry partner, you're gonna really want to, key in on the acquisition stage and hear about the programs. If you're a Marine, I'm gonna march straight back to Objective One Wargaming and the Simplified Pavilion and get my hands on some new marksmanship tools and some, and I'm gonna maybe demo the wargaming piece. If I'm a spouse and I need a job, I'm going to go straight to the Transition Education and Employment Fair and start, handing out my resumes. And if I'm a staffer on the Hill, I'm going to listen to those senior leader talks on the last day and hear where the Marine Corps is going. So I think it really depends on
Yeah.
who you are and where you're coming from. We do have a little something for everybody, and the website's great about organizing organizing the content into areas where that's easily understandable for your interest group.
So people can plan their days
Absolutely.
and have the most effective use of their time.
That's right.
Yeah,
and
it's so cool.
we'll bring you there. We'll bring you there on
Yeah.
a nice coach bus.
Well, and so many of these conventions are like, they're so niche. I really appreciate, and I think it's very cool how, this is a sort of a lightning rod term, but how inclusive it all is. Because like you were saying, like if you're into seeing like what does the nonprofit side of the Marine Corps and the DoD look like? You've got something for them. What is small business aspect of Marine Corps acquisitions and sourcing of equipment look like? There you got there too. What does it look like for a child man to be behind a microphone talking to VIPs? You got the Scuttlebutt stage. So, I mean, you got something for everybody.
You do have something for Well done, Vic.
I wasn't sure where he was going with that.
Well, we found out.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, stand by. I'll get you there. You may not like the destination, but the path is going to be fun. It's all about the journey.
It is all about the journey. Speaking of the journey, to your Scuttlebutt listeners, if they attend Modern Day Marine and have great ideas, contact us. Get in touch with MCA because we love to hear from.
Yeah, hit us up, Scuttlebutt at mca-marines.org. With any comments, recommendations, suggestions, questions, we're here for you.
That's right. And thank you so much for having me on today and talking about my favorite topic.
Yeah, so cool. And then also when we get off here, I'm going to give you guys an earful about how you didn't invite me to Mongolian barbecue.
We just did invite you for next time.
Well, what we wanted to do,
I make it smell.
We just needed
wanted to test it out.
Test it.
We didn't want.
Well, I appreciate.
We didn't want you to get sick.
Proof of concept.
Yeah, give this
today.
a recon. I get that.
Or advanced party.
Okay. You're off the hook.
Next Tuesday.
Yeah, there you go. All right, great. So Marta, thank you so much. April 29th to May 2nd at the Walter E. Washington Convention Center, Washington, D.C. Modern Day Marine is going to rock the house. And go to marinemilitaryexpos.com or mca-marines.org. Sign up. Do not miss it. And yeah, this is going to be awesome. There's so many new things. It's very exciting. I can't wait. And we'll be there. And please stop by and say hi if you get a chance.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Nancy. Thanks, Vic.
Thanks. We would like to thank the Marine Corps Association and Modern Day Marine for sponsoring this episode. Attention, Scuttlebutt listeners. Prepare for an incredible experience at the Modern Day Marine Expo, happening April 30th to May 2nd at the Walter E. Washington Convention Center. Dive deep into military advancements and networking. Plus, the Objective One Wargaming Convention is back for its second year. Expect nothing short of awesomeness, so bring your A game. Don't miss out. Secure your spot now. Also, Nancy, William, and I will be on site recording episodes live from the showroom floor. Come by and say hi. Visit MarineMilitaryExpos.com for more details and to register. That's MarineMilitaryExpos.com. Hope to see you there. Scuttlebutt is a production of the Marine Corps Association. You have heard the voices or contributions from Major Vic Rubel, USMC retired, Nancy Lichman, and or William Truding, and Lieutenant Colonel Marta Sullivan, USMC retired. Ty Frazier is the editor, sound engineer, and technical producer. The Marine Corps Association is not an agency of the U.S. government. The opinions expressed in this episode are the personal views of the participants and do not reflect the official position of the United States Marine Corps, the Department of Defense, or the Marine Corps Association.